lot to talk about this time, man. Let's not waste any time. Let's dive into it. Elimination Chamber. Let's look at some of the results. Let's grade it and see what we felt about some of the matches. So the first match that came up was the dark match, which was tag team Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, the Club. Too sweet, baby. They were taking on Miz Taraj, Bo Dallas, and Curtis Axel. So what did you think about that match?
I thought it was decent for what it was, for being the undercard match. Right. I think they might be setting something up with the Miz Taraj and the Club for a feud. Maybe not at Mania, but maybe future reference.
I could see that. It seems like they're trying to do something like that with Seth Rollins and Finn Balor and Miz, like an intercontinental title match at Mania. I don't know if that's actually going to happen, but it seems like that's what they're kind of trying to push toward to, which actually I'm a little bit more interested with that than with the Braun Strowman Miz title match, but that's here nor there. But watching that match, Club versus Miz Taraj, honestly lackluster, and I hate the way that WWE is portraying the Club right now. Yeah. They're kind of making them jobbers, really, and it's kind of pissing me off.
It seems like they just didn't have anything for Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, and they're like, well, let's just finally pull the trigger and put them with Balor and see what happens, and it's just kind of like they're there now.
Right, and then it's just kind of like plummeting. I wouldn't say plummeting. Like, when I saw them first come up on screen on that Raw and Finn teamed with them, I was like, okay, finally, they're gonna do it. And then it just kind of fell off from there. Like, I see they're trying to make Balor the leader.
Yeah.
And then Gallows and Anderson just, the tag team. But if you're gonna do that, you need to build Gallows and Anderson into like this veteran team of just an unstoppable force. You know what I mean?
And I think that they need to go probably hillside with it.
Yeah.
It's like they put them together and they're just like buddies and like, oh, we're friends and we're together and we just kind of
And that's the other thing with it is that Balor's face, but Gallows and Anderson, they're kind of, they have heel tactics, Yeah. So I can't really put my finger on, are they heel? Are they a face stable? Or are they neutral? Because right now it's looking like it's neutral. And I just can't really...
And if you look at it, Raw doesn't really have a lot of heels to him right now. They don't. Because Seth Rollins is kind of a babyface right now.
Mm-hmm. You got
Roman Reigns. The Miz is your top heel right now.
Yeah, he's your top heel right there.
And that's not the way you want to go.
But I guess Braun Strowman, but he's slowly starting to become that face.
He's kind of like the middle. He's not like good or bad. He's just kind of like he just does his thing. He's the neutral. He kind of does his thing, and he's just really getting over the fans. So it's like
those T-shirts, get these hands.
Yeah, get these hands.
It's great. It's good marketing. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we saw that one. Honestly, I'd give that on a grading scale. I would give it. It was a solid match, but nothing really stuck out to me. I'd give it a B.
B, yeah,
a B match.
I give it a B, maybe a C+. It wasn't. It was just kind of a filler match to tell the actual pay-per-view started.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. It was a great start to it, but just from the other matches that were on the card, it was
lackluster compared to the other ones.
So the next up match, first starting off the show,
was the women's
elimination chamber match. Okay, so let's look at this elimination by elimination. So Mandy Rose, as you and I said, Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, and Mickie James were going to be the first three out.
Yeah, they were
easily. It was a no-brainer. It was going to happen. So Mandy Rose submits to the bank statement about 13-14 minutes into the match. Right.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, I did not see them extending out the match that long. I thought that it may have been, and the women's division is really surprising me lately because of how they're really putting in work for their matches. It's not these 3-minute, 4-minute matches that used to happen back in 2010. Like they're actually telling a story with these matches now. Yeah. So that I will give them credit for.
They're getting to showcase their skills more than just a slap and I'm going to pull your hair and slam you on the ground kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a cat fight. It's it's actual wrestling. Yeah. That I'll applaud them for.
Yeah, and I'll say the match kind of came out as I predicted. The moment Sasha turned on Bayley, I knew it was like,
oh, yeah.
I knew that Alexa Bliss was going to pull it out.
Yep, because there would have been dissension, and those two would have taken each other out, and of course, the heel comes in, and she wins it. So then, Sonya Deville, which actually this was the high spot of the match. This is actually where I started tuning in. I had to go back and rewatch some of the matches and the first part of this match a couple days after Elimination Chamber aired. But this is where I actually came in. It was when Sonya Deville was eliminated by Mickey from that Luthez press off the top of the pod. That was awesome.
Yeah,
I'll give that to Mickey. She may be an older girl,
but she got the veteran presence to her, and
awesome.
She can carry the match if she needed to.
She really knows how to tell that story, and she's not afraid to go out there and do dangerous stuff. Oh, listen to me, I'm cracking. Jesus, a lot of yelling today. Sorry, but she's not afraid to go out there and do some of the stuff that the guys do, and I think that's really cool. I think that she's really putting in work and really trying her ass off to put women on the map, and she's doing a good job.
Yeah, she'll probably never. I don't know if she'll ever get the title again. I think WWE's just using her as veteran
to get people
presence
over.
and veteran leadership, get people over.
She's kind of like turned into like the Shawn Michaels or the Randy Orton or Chris Jericho of the women's division now. Because she's one of the women that are actually staying in it. How long has it been? It's 10 years now.
Yeah,
over 10 years she's been in wrestling.
When she come in, like 304?
No, it was 2006.
Six?
Because WrestleMania 22 is when she had that match with Trish.
Yeah. Yeah, because she came in as like the stalker
right.
stuff like that.
So it was like 2005, 2006. Mm-hmm. And it's been over 10 years. So like she's actually probably had one of the longest careers for a women's wrestler.
Yeah, and she had a good run in TNA too.
Yeah, fantastic.
So.
And then independent circuit, not to mention her time before on the independent circuit. She's been there a while. So, but yeah, that elimination, I thought that was perfectly timed. I thought it was great. I thought it was one of the high points of the match, and it really stuck out.
For the first women's one, they did enough. They didn't go over the top. They didn't try and do too much. They just kind of let it fold.
Right.
And it turned out pretty good.
Yeah. And then let's look at Mickey. She was eliminated by Bailey it was like 30 seconds right after that. Right after that Luthez press, because then it was a Bailey to belly. 1, 2, 3. Mickey's out. Yeah. And as you and I predicted, got down to those last three, the top three women on Raw. And then that's where the heel turn happened. Well, kind of sort of the heel turn. You can see Sasha slowly slipping into that darker side that she used to have in NXT and first starting out on the main roster. So she kicks Bailey when they're trying to team up. She kicks Bailey off the pod. They start fighting it out.
Basically gave Bliss the opening to take the match. So,
which, by the way, this whole
who ended up actually Bliss ended up eliminating both of them, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's right. That's right.
And the thing about it was, I think now they're trying to put on these too many coward heels, because they had Alexa Bliss in the women's elimination chamber when she was, looking at two baby faces. She closed the pod and she didn't want anything to do with them. She hid in the pod, right?
Yeah.
Then you go to the men's elimination chamber match, and Elias was about to come out, and he did the same thing. You're like, it's kind of pulling the same thing twice in one night. You look back at 2004 SummerSlam, Triple H did, or 2003 SummerSlam, Triple H did the same thing in the elimination chamber when Goldberg was there. Ric Flair closed his pod and he hid in there. Yeah. I'm like, okay, we get it. They're cowards, but let them fight.
Yeah. We know who's gonna win in the end anyway. So
yeah. So it ended up Bailey to belly off of the top rope on Sasha. She stammered a little bit. Alexa Bliss rolls her up. 1, 2, 3. Came down to Alexa Bliss. Sasha Banks looked like Banks was about to make her tap.
They had that the Banks is it the Banks statement? Banks statement,
yeah.
And then
for a long time.
Yeah. It looked like it just she was going to fight it for a minute and just eventually just tap, but then Bliss pulled it out. So
yeah, and I think they're trying to build Bliss as like this. This goddess that she's unbeatable. She can beat anybody. Because I think what they're going for is Asuka versus Bliss at Mania. Two people who the undefeated versus the goddess, or like the unbeatable.
So you don't think they're going to go try and Asuka's going to pull the switch and say, "Hey, I want Charlotte instead"?
It's really a toss-up.
Yeah, because I think I don't know. Cause part of me thinks that I think they want to do this Nia Jax thing, because Nia Jax and Bliss have always kind of been friends, so it's kind of one of those like, oh, it's time for Nia Jax to take her out.
I want that to happen more, but I really don't know, man. it's such a toss up for the women's division, which I'm excited to like find out what they do with it.
Yeah, and champion wise, I think Charlotte and Bliss have been champions too long. I think it's a time for a change. I think it's been just the same two for quite a while.
Since what was it?
Bliss has had it like pretty much the whole time she's been on
Series.
Raw.
It was before that. It was I think it was since SummerSlam.
Yeah,
it's been a long time.
Yeah, because they put the belt on Charlotte right before Survivor Series because it was SmackDown versus Raw.
And Natalya was the champion before that.
Yeah.
She beat Natalya.
And then Bliss pretty much got it right when she came to Raw almost.
Yeah.
She's had it for a while.
It was like 2 or 3 weeks after that.
Yeah.
And beat Bayley. And that was it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's really switched hands since that. I could be wrong. I don't know.
Hmm.
But anyways, Bliss ends up pinning Sasha Banks. 1, 2, 3. Old, 5-head Sasha Banks. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that. Sasha Banks, cries, exits the chamber.
I think Sasha Banks might be bald. I think she's a little bald. I think a lot of that's fake hair.
I don't know, man. I look at that and I'm just like, that is that's gnarly hairline.
Yeah.
It's just, oh man. But the promo that Bliss cut after the match.
Yeah. That was good.
It seemed like she was starting to, kind of, I'm turning face and, I'm doing this for all these little girls up there. And then she just switched it.
Yeah.
Do I think it was hokey? A little bit. But do I think it was good timing? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it was, it suited her personality. It suited her character. And she did a good job with it. So.
She's done a lot since coming on the main roster because she wasn't really all that big of a player on NXT. And then she came on.
And just exploded on the scene.
Yeah, she's well liked. Even being a heel, she's well liked.
The one thing that I loved in her repertoire is her moveset of where she fakes the dislocated arm, and like has it hanging there, and then she pops it back into place, quote unquote, and then punches him right in the face. It's like that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Did she pulled that on Becky Lynch a few times?
And Sasha.
Yeah, and Sasha.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's different. Yeah. I like that. So, what would you grade that match?
I'd give it a B. A B. For being the first one.
For women's matches,
it had predictability to it. That's why I gave it a B.
Yeah. You know what? I'll go with that. Yeah.
Just because me as a wrestling fan, I'm in the age of where you didn't have internet and like shit happened. You're like, oh, I didn't expect that. I like having that feeling.
Right.
As a wrestling fan, I hate when I feel like I already know what's going to happen.
But now you and we've watched this so much, we can predict which way they're going with it. And just go from there. So it's a little difficult now, especially with the internet. But I would say with predictability, I'd probably give it a B plus, a solid B plus.
Solid.
It was good. It kept my interest. The one thing that I did notice was with the women's elimination chamber, they had kind of padding on the outside. It wasn't like the steel grates anymore. It was like mats.
I seen that.
Did you see that?
Did it have that on the men's too?
And that's the thing. I thought, are they just doing that for women's? Because if so, that's a little sexist, honestly. Yeah. And I'm not just trying to say that just to be like white knight or anything like that, but like that's a little sexist. Because
they're doing this movement of we want to be like the guys.
Right.
They should do it.
So do everything like the guys. And then I saw it in the guys, and I was like, okay, that makes sense.
It's the new, and it's the new chamber too.
Sure.
They updated it last year because I guess the old way, because all arenas have them big. Screens.
Yeah, the screens on top.
Yeah, so they had to like vamp it a little bit to make it
fit.
I think that's why we didn't have Elimination Chamber 1 year. Wasn't it 1 year we didn't have it?
No, I don't think so. Yeah. It's been around for a while.
Or that's because I think they did that so they can go to more venues. They were limited on the venues they could use. I think with the old style.
But what do you think? Because this style of Elimination Chamber debuted last year.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
I actually dig it. It has more of a squareness to it.
I love it too. I actually love it.
And the doors open better too. It looks like the doors actually open a little bit better too. Yeah.
It's more of a triangle shape, isn't it? Because it comes to more of a point. Yeah. No, it comes to like a point and then it like squares off at the front. Yeah. So it's kind of like a cube.
So I don't know if that with the way it's designed now, if it limited, because if you look at the other one, somebody went through the pods all the time.
Yeah.
But this one, it looks like it might be a little bit more difficult to throw somebody through the pod.
They still got a few people through the pods, like Reigns.
You might just have to like time it right or do it in a certain area. You might not be able to just do it like they used to.
Right. Which actually on the women's elimination chamber match, I was hoping that Sasha would turn heel, but I was hoping that she would do it to the point of where she throws Bailey through one of the pods.
Yeah.
That's what I was hoping for. But you know what?
That little
Kick.
that was like...
It was more like a taunt sort of thing.
It was like, yeah, like... it didn't even like shock me. I'm like, oh,
yeah, you're like, oh, okay, she just kicked her. Like, what she should have done. She should have done a more match or something.
Yeah, more of a
devious thing.
Devious thing, yeah. That was just like, oh, I'm gonna kick you. Yeah, call it a day.
But regardless,
and then the next night on Raw, they acted like they were buddies, and then Bailey kind of got her back.
Yeah.
So.
Which that's kind of slipping into something.
Yeah.
Could it be just a singles match of those two? Yeah. Bad blood match. And
given just a straight women's single match for titles not on the line, just kind of
that'd actually be pretty cool on a Mania card. Yeah. I think people would be into that. So okay, so let's move on. Next match, another. Sorry. So we go to tag team action again. We got Cesaro and Sheamus defending the titles against Titus Worldwide. Honestly, I don't know why this was on the card.
Yeah,
I think it was just kind of a filler match.
I didn't even dig it. I right now I'd probably give it a C because
honestly, Titus O'Neil is quite frankly a dying brand.
Yeah,
and they need to cut. They need to cut him loose.
They're wasting Apollo Crews and. I do not like Dana Brooke with him. She just looks out of place. Yep. So out of place with him.
She looks like she feels awkward.
Yeah. If she has that feeling like, I'm just doing this because they have nothing else for me to do. And
she's just trying to fulfill her contract.
Yeah.
And that's not something that you want to do within a business or anything like that. So it seems like to me that she just shows up, goes to work, leaves.
Calls it a day.
That's kind of what it is. And same with Apollo Crews. I don't think Apollo Crews likes what he's doing at all. And
I think he needs to go back to SmackDown. It seemed like they used him better on SmackDown.
Yeah. The thing is, the one thing that they can't fix with him is his smile. It's the same thing with Balor, too, but Balor's a little bit more over because he can have different facial expressions. Apollo Crews, same facial expression the entire way through. Yeah. It's either shock or a smile.
Yeah. And it doesn't work in WWE. You got to be able to turn that aggressiveness on.
Yeah. And I just don't see it in him. If he could do that, he could be great. But I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, I really don't have much to say about it. I knew that Titus Worldwide wasn't going to win.
Yeah, Cesaro and Sheamus are going to go into Mania. They're going to have the titles. They'll probably face some big team. I'm probably thinking that War Machine is on the horizon. Hanson and Raymond Rowe. They're on the horizon. I think they'll come in.
I think they might be doing a thing with the Revival. I think
that would be a good one too. Yeah. Honestly. Yeah, I don't think that they should do another
I think this Mania is going to have a lot of matches that have a lot of participants. Maybe even like a fatal 4-way for the tag titles, or
kind of like what they had at WrestleMania 20, where it was like 2 tag team title matches, but they were fatal 4-ways because they have so much talent.
Yeah, exactly, and I think that's what they're going to do with the Intercontinental title. The way they can get as many people on the card they can.
Sure,
that's what they usually do. I really hope they do something with the U.S. title at Mania too, because it seems like that was the one that always gets pushed to the side.
I was hoping
it's the new European title.
Yeah, that's the truth. I was hoping last year that they would do something with the Cruiserweight Championship, like a 6-person or 8-person ladder match, and it just kind of fell flat. And I was like,
that was on the main card. That was on the pre-show too, wasn't it?
It was Austin Aries versus Neville, which, by the way, great match.
Great match.
It was an awesome match.
It started off the night and
couldn't have ended it a better way.
For like the longest Mania ever, that started off as a good night.
But that was a grueling Mania, dude. 8 hours. Yeah. Wasn't that 8 hours?
Yeah, and I felt like when we got to the Roman Reigns the Undertaker match, I was over. I was
tired.
I don't want to watch it anymore.
And you could tell the crowd was just deflated. Not deflated, but they were just all their energy was gone because they watched the Goldberg-Lesnar match. That was a huge match. They watched the Seth Rollins Triple H match. Huge match. Great match. So
even the ladder match, it was short.
When the Hardys came out,
the Hardys stole the show.
That was it.
That was it.
Yeah,
they got the biggest pop of the night.
Yep, that's absolutely.
Yeah.
So
we got off topic again.
Yeah, sorry. So
is the Asuka match next?
It's Asuka and Nia Jax. Asuka. She wins against Nia Jax. What was it? A roll up or?
Yeah, she just rolled her up, and
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I remember that because we were like kind of texting each other because I was watching it. I think you were watching it. And they're like, I remember saying something to you, and then she's just
then
gonna
all of a sudden it rolled out.
like she won, and she's like, or Asuka's just gonna win now. I remember that you sent me that message because it just happened after we said something. I don't remember what I said to you, but
she was on top of her shoulders or something like that, and I think she Oklahoma rolled it.
Yeah,
like pinned her basically sitting on her face. You know, and okay, yeah, I get it. You know, she's a monster heel. You kind of want to get that sneak win. But if you're trying to build Asuka into like this dominating force, have her beat that monster heel, and I mean beat her. Don't sneak a win.
Yeah.
Make her tap.
And basically what they did was Nia
brutalized her.
Ran the match. She basically dominated, and then she rolled up.
And then it was like a sneak win.
It was like, oh, Asuka can take a beating and pull it out.
Right. Which I get it.
I actually expected her to pull out a submission. I thought she was going to win by a submission, honestly.
Yeah.
And then she just kind of did a roll up, and it was over.
Yeah.
And then Nia Jax attacked her at the end.
But honestly, is it just me, or do you feel like Nia Jax deserves more than what she's getting right now?
They're trying to make her like the female Braun Strowman, but she loses matches.
That's exactly what they're doing.
But she doesn't like.
She doesn't dominate the way that she's
I expect Braun
portrayed.
Strowman not to lose, but like if Nia Jax loses, I'm like, well, she's lost before because Bailey's beat her.
Right.
You know, she's been beaten.
Name the one person that has beaten Braun Strowman clean. One person.
Lesnar, right?
Okay, yeah.
Because they had a one-on-one match.
And Reigns,
yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Because Lesnar just pulled out an F5 out of nowhere on him.
Name all the people that have beaten Nia Jax clean. You got Asuka, Bailey, Sasha. You got
Charlotte. I believe Charlotte's done it. Yeah.
You got a lot. So it's like if you're trying to build this monster heel in the women's division, make her a monster.
Yeah.
Build her like Braun. Like they're building Braun perfectly to a T. I'm not even kidding. I've never seen a monster heel built like this so perfectly before. You know, and a lot of people say, "Oh, Big Show, he's better than Big Show."
No. Big Show loses a lot.
Yeah,
like every Royal Rumble he gets thrown out.
Yeah.
It's like if he was that big of a monster, he wouldn't have got thrown out like that.
I still think that Braun needs the title, though. Yep. I still think he needs it.
And like I said last episode, I think they go too much with Braun, though. I think they need to tone back of what they like. Like I said, I don't need to see him push over a vehicle. I don't need him to do that.
Yeah. Like we get it. He's strong.
Yeah.
He's a strong guy. But tone it back a bit. Just make him come in there, kick some ass, leave, and that's what they need to do with Nia. But overall, I'll give the match. There's nothing really that stood out to me. I knew that it was going to be kind of a staggering match because Nia, there's not a lot of mobility with her. Yeah. She's all strength.
I will say something about Nia, though. I think she's kind of a little unsafe a little bit sometimes.
Really?
Yeah, there's a few times with, like, through the match, I'm just like I was a little nervous that, like, maybe
when she attacked her after the match?
Yeah, like, no, not even after the match, just during the match. Like, there's a few times the way she slammed Asuka, it seemed like she just wasn't
caring about it.
Because when you wrestle, like, you're putting
another person's life on your line.
You're trusting that person. It seemed like she just kind of does her thing. Like, go back and watch some of her matches. It seems like she's just kind of
I'll have to do that.
A little too unsafe.
Maybe I'm misgauging her, because I feel like she's one of the top competitors on Raw.
I'm not saying it's bad, but I think she has a little small bad habits.
And that may be the reason why they're kind of keeping her under.
Yeah.
So okay, well, that match, I'll give it a B.
Did she drop Charlotte on her?
I'm not sure.
Who wrestled Charlotte that almost like really seriously hurt her? I think it was Nia.
Was it Nia?
I think so.
I'm not sure. I'm not terribly sure. We'll have to check up on that. But regardless, what would you give this match? Because I would give it a B.
B, yeah. Solid B. No, I want to go higher than that.
Yeah. So next, we have the match that you've probably been waiting for a long time. We got Matt Hardy. Yes.
And he finally pulled out the win.
Yeah,
finally.
That's right.
Finally.
That's right, against Bray Wyatt.
Yeah. And I think they're setting... It's just a stepping stone, and they're going to do something big at Mania. I think they're saving the big match they're going to do for Mania. Maybe even kind of
like the final deletion.
Another final deletion thing or something. I think that's what they're
I can see that happening. But the one thing that stood out to me in this match was Matt.
The way Matt came in?
No, not the way that Matt came in. The way that when he was in the match, anything, like all the scare tactics that Bray would try and pull out,
Didn't phase him.
It didn't really phase him, yeah, because he would look at it. I remember one time Bray did the looking back thing on the turnbuckle, and then Matt turned around and he's like, "Oh, wonderful!" Yeah, he was like, "Oh, that was great," and he made everybody clap.
And then Bray gets up and he's like,
"Yeah,
what
threw him
the
off.
fuck
It threw
just
Bray
happened?"
off. Yeah, and I was like, "Oh, that's genius." So he tried to do some mind games.
He
countered it.
He's getting in Bray Wyatt's head, which no one's done before. And that's what's cool about it.
But that's the thing that broken Matt Hardy did.
Yeah.
Was he got into people's heads. And think about it, he got into Abyss's head, Crazy Steve's head, that
EC3,
fantastic
he
match.
got everyone,
So that's kind of his thing. So I thought that was pretty good. Do I like the way that they're portraying Bray right now? No, because a year ago he was a top player. He held the World Heavyweight or the WWE Championship at Mania.
And then once he lost it,
he fell off.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck, dude? Because like when they gave it to him at Elimination Chamber last year,
I was ecstatic. It was exciting.
Pumped.
I was like, what are they going to do?
I screamed. I was like, yes, finally.
Finally.
And then his promo that he cut, all his promos are great. But the promo that he cut, like the Tuesday, the SmackDown after Elimination Chamber, fucking awesome. When he held the title up and he said, "Now I've got the whole damn world in my hands," I was like, oh, that's what he meant.
Yeah.
That's what he's meant all this time. He wants that. He's got the whole world in his hands right there.
He finally got it.
Yeah. So I thought that was really good. But now they just kind of, they killed his gimmick.
Yeah.
He's not scary anymore.
Yeah, I don't think they're giving Matt Hardy the free reins on the whole thing either.
Right.
And I think if they could let Matt and Bray just do their thing the way they want to do it and kind of just let them go. Because Matt's good enough to elevate people and he's good enough to make a good storyline. He's not going to be the top player ever.
Sure.
Because he's on, 40?
Yeah, but he doesn't need to be.
No, he doesn't.
He's so over that he doesn't need a title or anything.
Exactly. And they can use this to boost Bray to the next level, be like the next Undertaker, like they're hoping he's going to be.
Right.
But we'll see. I will say this for Matt Hardy, he actually looked the most physical in this match I've seen him in a long time, because it seemed like a few of the match, if you've watched him lately, just kind of like he's kind of moving slow, but this one he looked real energized. He moved good.
Like I told
physical.
You, from what I saw in when he came back at Mania last year, I was telling you while we were watching the match, dude, it's looking like he's moving like an old grandpa. Because like when he tries to do the run,
they
it's
did
like
just
a shuffle.
Yeah, but they did just do a ladder match the night before with the Young Bucks, so they couldn't.
That's true. So I can't really I can't really blame him for that, because if I was probably in a ladder match too, my ass would probably be hurting too. I wouldn't want to run.
Especially.
But you look at some further down the line, and like even the matches against the Bar, and he shuffles. It's
He's never ran good. If you ever watch him, because he kind of has like a Jimmy leg thing going on. I don't know what's going on. But speaking of the Young Bucks for a minute here, do you ever listen to Edge and Christian's podcast? Mm-hmm. Did you listen to the Young Bucks when they had them on there?
What?
They had the Young Bucks on their podcast?
No, they didn't.
Yeah, listen to that one, because they had them on there a little bit after Mania last year.
Dude, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and they were talking about how they were setting up the match for Ring of Honor against the Hardys.
I thought their podcast is produced by WWE.
No, it's not. They interview a lot of people.
Oh no, yeah, it's just on YouTube. They have the Show of Awesomeness. Yeah. Okay.
Pot of Awesomeness. It's actually pretty good listen.
That's right. Okay, so that match, looking at it, you know what? I give it could have been better just because of what they could have done. Yeah, but
it did keep you. But I will give this match. I give this probably a B plus, and because it did give you that. Towards the end, it was like you didn't know who was going to win. Honestly, it kind of gave you that.
Right.
That's how I liked it.
Yeah, and I looked at it as like, I haven't seen Barry win a match in a while. I haven't seen Matt win a match in a while, so it could have gone either way. Which either way, I was actually fine with either way. But I'll give it an A minus actually. Nice. Because bringing back the nostalgia of Matt Hardy, and then
I think I might actually up mine to an A too, just because. Like I said, Matt just looked a little bit more physically better in this one than he's done in past matches. Right.
Okay. All right, so let's move on to the main event. We got the men's Elimination Chamber. First ever, was it 7-man? 7-man Elimination Chamber
Which
match.
I like how they started it off with Elias coming out.
Yes, beautiful.
Like he did a perfect song. And he's like, I'm just going to go with my pod. And everyone cheered, and then he's like, "No, you know what? I'm gonna start singing."
But I just found the perfect tune, so I can't let this go. I was like, "Oh, beautiful! That was great." So giving them what they want, but then just like pulling it away. Yeah, I thought that was a great heel move.
He started it off perfect.
Yeah, so no complaints there. I thought it was funny. But then who else but Braun Strowman interrupts it, comes down, and that's when Elias slowly walks over to his pod, acts like he's not scared. We all know he's scared. Yeah. I'd be scared.
And then when Miz came down and he got close to Braun's and he smacked the thing, and
Braun smacked the glass.
Like, whoa, I'm out.
Yeah, I think Miz has his moments where he's funny.
Yeah,
you know?
I will one thing through this match is I did forget that Elias was awarded the last entry.
I forgot that too.
Yeah, like halfway through, and then they said something. Yeah, I was like, "Oh, who's going to be Roman or him?" I was like, "Oh no, wait." They're like, "No, Braun was the second to last." Wasn't
second to last.
Yeah. And then they said, "We all know who's coming out next," and I'm like, "What? What do you mean?" I'm like, "Oh,
yeah, because Elias won that match.
Won the
yeah." So
was it the Miz the first eliminated?
Yes, yeah. Miz was first eliminated, and all eliminations happened by none other than Braun Strowman. Yeah. Now, here's my complaint with that. I love that they're making him a monster heel. Don't give him all the eliminations in the Elimination Chamber. Yeah. I thought that was kind of stale. Like, okay, great. Make him eliminate maybe 3 people. Yeah.
And I think they should have, I like Braun, but I think they should have eliminated him when pretty much everyone did their finisher on him. I think that's when they should have got him eliminated.
But if you look at it, that's how usually most big men in the Elimination Chamber matches get eliminated, is by that. So maybe they wanted to mix it up a bit and make it seem like, oh, he's going to get eliminated. Psych. That sort of thing.
But once it came down to Roman and him, you knew it was going to win.
We already called it.
We all knew Roman was going to win because they've been setting that up for months.
And you know what? Whatever. Go ahead, have Roman and Lesnar. I'll still watch it just because their Mania match at 31, it was actually going pretty good. So I don't mind it. I really don't see... Okay. Here's my thing. Looking at Reigns now, I kind of reassessed things, right? I looked at like his in-ring work from like previous matches, from previous years, and he's really not a bad wrestler. Like I look at him and he's not a bad in-ring worker. His mic skills are just not on par.
He did a pretty decent promo last week.
Yes, which I do want to talk about. Last week, he pulled out the promo of his life.
He did.
And it was great. And, him announcing, now I'm probably going to go back and get my ass chewed and I'm going to take it like a man. But, and then he goes on and he's just like, but now you guys know, or, something like that. I can't remember how he ended.
Because Lesnar didn't show up that night or something, yeah.
Which actually, he's speaking from the heart now.
Yeah.
Which, he's...
That he's not a part... Yeah, basically it was like he was not a part-timer. He's here.
He's like, I'm here day in, day out. Even going to the small towns, it's like, okay, you're getting a spark.
And I think Lesnar's on his way back to UFC too. There's been rumors and stuff. Yeah. So,
and the way that he pulled out the Dana White thing in his promo, he's like, I'm not there having lunch with Dana White talking about contracts, and I'm like, oh shit, you are not supposed to mention Dana White on WWE TV.
Yeah. I really kind of wonder what Dana White thinks about Rousey right now.
I don't know. I bet as a business move, he thinks that it's actually pretty good because that can bring people back over to UFC to watch stuff. And, I heard that they're trying to, build up a UFC library basically on their website, kind of like the WWE Network. They're going to try and do something with UFC pay-per-views. Not a bad idea.
Because UFC, they're kind of falling down a little bit. Mm-hmm. All their top stars are gone. They don't really have any top guys anymore.
They don't have anybody because Bellator MMA kind of ate them all up, and, in a good way. But back to this match. Yeah, Braun Strowman, Power Slam, Miz eliminated, Elias eliminated, John Cena eliminated, Finn Balor eliminated, Seth Rollins eliminated, which actually I am super happy of how long Seth Rollins lasted in that match.
Balor did too, because they started out.
They started it out.
Miz.
And I thought the eliminations happened at good times.
Good times, yeah. They weren't too close to each other.
Right. And then it came down to, good old Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman, and it was going to happen from there.
They basically pulled that whole, how Roman got him was Strowman was tired from doing all this, getting beat up. And
he did all the work, and then Roman comes in and picks up the scraps. Kind of like a Nia Jackson, Asuka move. Sneak win.
And then I think they had Roman, I think they had Braun beat up Roman at the end afterwards on purpose just to take away from the disappointment from people that's in the crowd. Like, oh, he beat him up afterwards. Though.
Which we got to see the person thrown through the pod, which we get to see every single elimination chamber
Somebody's
match.
going through it.
Exactly. And it was Roman, and I think the crowd liked it. So, no harm, no foul. But,
I will say the best one I ever seen was, and I don't even know if it was on purpose. It seemed like it wasn't on purpose. The Intercontinental title one where I don't remember who got thrown through the pod, but they got thrown through a pod.
There was an Intercontinental title match?
Yeah, Elimination Chamber. The one that Ryback won.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, remember he threw there and they threw him in there and Mark Henry was actually still in the pod waiting to come out and he was like, well, it's open. I'm coming out now. Oh, remember that? You don't remember that?
I don't think I've watched that
one.
Oh,
it's hilarious because the guys, I think it was Cesaro no, not Cesaro. Who threw him in there? I can't remember, but
the guy, somebody big.
Yeah, but whoever they threw through there, like they seen Mark Henry was like, "Well, fuck it, I'm coming out," and like the guy was like, "Oh shit, whoops." It was pretty.
That's awesome.
Go back and watch that one.
All right,
that's the same one that had the first ever tag team elimination chamber.
Yeah. So. That wasn't last year; it was a year before.
Yeah, it was a year before.
I do want to point out for every elimination chamber, though. I know that we're sitting on this for a long time, but last thing,
it's elimination chamber, so.
Right. So. The one thing that I notice about Elimination Chamber, it's all set up with the same types of people, right? Okay, so let's look at it, right? You always have a narcissist, okay, The Miz, right? You always have the veteran, John Cena. You always have the wild card, Elias. You always have the high flyer, Seth Rollins, Finn Balor. You have the dominator, Roman Reigns, and you have the monster, which would be Braun Strowman. Now look at the very first Elimination Chamber. Narcissist, Chris Jericho. Veteran, Shawn Michaels. Dominator, Triple H. High flyer was Rob Van Dam. Booker T was the wild card. Monster was Kane. Yep. Every single one they have it pretty much.
Like, I think the one that wasn't like that maybe was the New Year's Revolution one where Cena won.
No, because they had the same thing. Because veteran was Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
Oh wait, Shawn Michaels, Kurt Angle was in that.
Carlito.
Masters.
Chris Masters.
Kane, John Cena. So you have John Cena as the Dominator. Yeah. You have Kurt Angle as...
The veteran.
No. Kurt Angle was the Dominator.
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels, veteran. Okay? Then you have the Narcissist, Carlito. Or Chris Masters. Yeah. I would say Chris Masters is the wild narcissist.
Card. No,
Carlito's the wild
card, yeah.
Monster was Kane. And then who else was it? Was it Dominator? Or no?
You have Shawn Michaels still. Veteran?
No. Yeah, no. Because we were missing a high flyer, but I guess you could... say that Shawn Michaels
Carlito's kind of a high flyer too.
Yeah, that too.
No. So they might deviate a little bit, but it's basically the same.
Yeah,
same setup.
But I never looked at it that way. It's a good mix.
Yeah, I never looked at it that way.
Yeah, so, and that's what I noticed on every single one. I'm like, that's really strange.
All right, now that we got Elimination Chamber out of the way, we'll head into the fast lane. I know it's coming up this Sunday.
Yeah,
and I don't know order of match card, but this is who they have so far. First up, Flair versus Ruby Riott for women's title.
Yeah, the Riot Squad. Yeah.
And you know that Charlotte's going to have Becky and Feel the Glow.
Oh, Naomi.
Yeah. In her corner because they've just kind of been doing this back and forth kind of thing for
trying to get the main women's stars on the card in the mix on the card. Yeah, that's fine.
And but this one, I think they're not gonna. They're not going to change the title. They could pull an upset, but Charlotte's going to walk into WrestleMania. That's
Charlotte
what they
will
want.
Be the champ. Do I think that she'll retain at Mania? Probably not. If it's against Asuka, probably not.
No.
But there's no way that they're going to give it to Ruby Riott.
Like I said, if they do Asuka versus Bliss, like you think, I think it needs to be Charlotte and Bayley 1-on-1. I mean, not Bayley, but Becky.
Yeah.
1-on-1. Let them do their thing. Let them tear the house down.
That would be a money match right there. So yeah, I agree.
But knowing them, with SmackDown, they'll probably do a 6-pack challenge, just kind of put as many so they can get as many girls.
Yeah, and they did that last year, and it worked. So I can't. It is what it is. Again, the women's matches for Mania, it's kind of a toss-up. It's up in the air. I don't really know what direction they're going with it. The only thing that I know is what they're doing with Rousey.
So how long? What we got? 5 weeks till Mania?
Well, that's a good
so we still got about a month or so.
Yeah,
a lot of stuff
about 5 or 6 weeks. Yeah, because it's first week of April, isn't it? It's usually first week of April.
First week.
Yep. Okay, so let's move on. We got Usos versus New Day. Big E, Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods. SmackDown Tag Team titles.
Yeah. Did you watch SmackDown last week?
I did.
Yep. Did you see they had the New Day and Usos kind of were having their thing?
Yeah.
And Bludgeon Brothers.
Out. Yeah.
So I'm kind of wondering maybe they might add them to the match, or
it'd be a good thing because the Usos and New Day, it's the only thing that they got.
But they're hyping up the Bludgeon Brothers like they're unbeatable right now. So,
but rightfully so, because in NXT they were when they were with the Wyatt family, they were fucking good. They were like Ascension level good, which, by the way, they're fucking ruining they have already ruined the Ascension.
Ascension should just leave once their contract's up. Go to Ring of Honor.
Yeah,
they should.
And they should definitely dominate there. But here nor there, I think Bludgeon Brothers should be added to the match. Do I think it'll happen? I think it's a little bit too late for that.
Yeah, they might wait till Mania.
Yeah. I think what'll happen, though, is this could happen. Bludgeon Brothers are really making their point known that they want those titles. So after the match, whoever wins, they could come out and beat the shit out of them.
Yeah, just leave them in the ring.
Destroy them. And then that sets up for Mania, which would be awesome. And I would be pumped up for that.
Yeah.
Because Luke Harper is one of the best.
He's very mobile, very talented.
Yeah.
Like he can move around for as tall as big as he is.
He can hang with AJ Styles. And that's saying something. So I think that Eric Rowan needs a little bit of work. Yeah. But other than that, he's the big guy of the tag team.
As tag team, they work. They
work well together.
They gel together.
So, I think coming out on top, I think it'll be the Usos. Just because they're kind of making them like the dominant tag team on SmackDown until Bludgeon Brothers come out and dominate them.
Pretty much.
Yep. Okay, so we look at Bobby Roode, Randy Orton, WWE United States Championship. Huh?
What's interesting about this is Orton's never won the U.S. title, so...
You were just saying that, yeah.
But do they drop it off Roode this quick, though? Because he really hasn't had it that long.
I don't even know. Okay, here's my thing. If they give it to Orton... it'll be on the main card of WrestleMania. Yeah. Like Orton he will not be on the pre-show.
Yeah, he won't let himself be on the pre-show.
Yeah, if they keep it on Roode, it's going to be on pre-show.
Yeah.
That's just how it is.
And it could be one of those things is Orton just they might give it to Orton and then he drops it at Mania.
Yeah.
So
to put over another talent.
And maybe they have like a ladder match, or what they usually do is to get more people into Mania.
But the thing that they're playing with this United States Championship is it's I think the best looking title in WWE.
It is. And
it really is.
Getting pushed like it's
like the lowest tier.
Yeah.
It's like level with the Cruiserweight Championship, which I like the Cruiserweight Championship look too, but it's just like the what is it? The prestige is not there. Yeah. And the reason why is because they're playing hot potato with the United States Championship, just throwing it to wrestlers who I guess, you need a title around your waist, so here you go.
Exactly.
Yeah. And like you said, it's turning into the European title. What happened to the European title?
They got rid of it.
It's gone.
But I think they are going to keep it because it does have a history to it.
It does, yeah. And it's another title to just kind of give another wrestler a meaning, Huh? So
because it started in WCW. And it's kind of one of those.
It's
kind of over here. It's kind of one of those still like, hey,
what is with my voice?
We're moving. We got this history title here. I don't think they'll ever get rid of it, but
yeah.
Do you know who was the first ever to have the U.S. title?
Harley Race.
Harley Race, yeah.
That's right. Yeah. I know my history, man.
Yeah.
Don't even try.
Nice.
Don't even try. All right, let's go to the main event. So we got the six-pack challenge.
It was a 5, now a 6-pack. Because John Cena
bullshit.
Because John Cena just can't
let it go. Yeah. Which, by the way, I think that was stupid. He came out on Raw after Elimination Chamber, cut a great promo saying that he's going to challenge The Undertaker. What a great tease. I was like, okay, I'm into it. I like it. And then all of a sudden he goes, and that's just not going to happen because they're telling me it's impossible. And I'm like, now this has me thinking, okay? So I was like, oh man, shit. Well, it's not going to happen. But then I was like, wait a second. Ronda Rousey said that she's not going to be at Royal Rumble. Yeah. Yes, she was.
I think they're trying to throw people off. Yeah. And then Undertaker's going to show up like, you don't think it's going to happen? I'm going to whoop your ass. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to show up during the 6-pack challenge. He's going to tombstone John Cena and cost him the match, and AJ Styles will win him, I think.
That would be interesting.
And then that'll set the fire.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
That would be interesting.
Mark my words, man.
If they do have a match at Mania, you think John Cena will pull it out?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, do I think that he'll win against Undertaker?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because no,
he already has 2 losses, so it's not like the undefeated streak's on the
Right.
line anymore.
I really don't.
And John
know,
Cena's
man.
this tough guy. You think he wants to have Lesnar and Reigns be above him? And he couldn't beat him. So
I don't know, man. Honestly, you need to give Undertaker the win. Like you just have to, because now he's been beaten twice, and it's like, okay, so let's factor in age and everything. Okay, he's getting older. He's starting to not, move as well, or be as good in the ring or anything like that. I guess that's the excuse. No, dude, like you're building, like, this dude's character is an undead god. Basically, he's an undead crypt keeper. Like
that's why he takes so many finishers in a match and still gets up.
Yeah. It's like, so I think he needs to win, but do I think
me personally, I would have never had him lost just so he could retire undefeated.
Yeah.
Like, bam.
I gotta admit, I actually liked it at first that Brock Lesnar did beat him at WrestleMania 30, but now I'm just kind of like, I don't know. It just because now I'm just like, when Undertaker shows up in Mania with a match, I'm like, it's not important.
It's not.
Like,
I
don't care about it anymore.
Because when he had matches with Shawn and Triple H, you're sitting there like,
shit was
and
close.
you were like, is he going to lose? Is he going to lose? Blah, blah, blah. And then
he pulls it out.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, the first Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker WrestleMania 25, which I was at WrestleMania 25, so I actually, this has a special place in my heart.
Yeah.
That was actually my favorite match of all time because I saw it in person.
Wasn't that the same Mania that had Jeff versus Matt?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I thought it was the best wrestling match I've ever seen, and it's I don't think Undertaker or Shawn Michaels have done better in any match than with that one. So, it is what it is. So let's look at the other competitors that are in this match and see, like, okay, could you see them winning? Sami Zayn?
Nope.
No. Baron Corbin?
No.
No. So Dolph Ziggler?
I give him a little bit higher up than the other two, but no.
No. And then you come down to Kevin Owens?
No.
AJ Styles?
Yes.
Yes. John Cena?
Nope.
Yes. No, I
could see Cena winning. Yeah.
But honestly, those are the only two. So I could see it coming down to AJ Styles, John Cena. They're the only ones in the ring.
They're not.
Long sounds.
AJ Styles going to win it.
Yeah.
Just because the ovation that Shinsuke got when he picked AJ after he won the Rumble, there's no way they can switch it now.
You can't do it.
Unless there's something behind the scenes that somebody fucked up and AJ Styles on a hot seat or something, but I don't think.
I don't think it is either. I think AJ will win it. They have to do Nakamura and Styles at Mania. They have to do it. But while we're talking about Mania and while we're on the subject, let's talk about something that was just announced tonight. Okay? As we're speaking, Raw is going on right now, which we will watch it later. We're just doing the podcast right now. But let's talk about a Mania match that was announced. Okay? We got Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey versus Triple H, Stephanie McMahon. We saw it coming, but are you excited for this match?
I'm excited because I think Kurt Angle and her gel together because Kurt Angle's they're both Olympians.
Yeah.
They both, he was a wrestler, she was judo. They mesh well. I actually think I like it better that they mesh well better than her and The Rock.
Yeah.
And I know they were trying to get The Rock to come in, but I think his schedule.
Honestly, I think he'll be there. He'll just have something else to do.
Yeah.
It'll probably be last minute.
He'll probably do something in the ring talking maybe. Yeah. And because I think he's doing a movie and they don't want to risk him getting hurt or something. Right. So.
But anyways, Kurt Angle, Ronda Rousey, great team. Yeah. Of course, you have Stephanie and Triple H.
The happy married couple.
Whatever.
On the show.
The slap, though. That slap dough at Elimination Chamber with Stephanie and that was me. My bad.
No, that's no worse.
But yeah, the slap that happened between that Stephanie delivered to Ronda Rousey, and then the look that Stephanie got.
Oh, that's what we forgot about Elimination Chamber.
Oh yeah, we
forgot to talk about the contract signing.
Okay, so Kurt Angle coming out and being like, "Oh yeah, didn't you guys say that? Hey, now when she signs it, we own the bitch." I was like, "Damn, damn!" Yeah. And then Ronda Rousey, that look, dude,
when she threw him through the table, that was
awesome. It was great.
And Triple H, I love how he sells sometimes because afterwards he was like, "What the fuck just happened?"
Yeah.
He just had that look,
like,
and it was awesome.
What?
Yeah.
What? Yeah.
And then the next night, I didn't really understand
why he attacked Angle.
The cheap shot. He just like
It was like they
and
were
he
done.
just, like,
He's just
punched
like
him and
comes
walked
back
away.
in and I need a little bit of flair with this. Bap. And then I was like, what? Come on.
He just punched him and walked away. It was like, what the hell just happened?
But this has been brewing between Triple H and Kurt Angle since Survivor Series.
Yeah, because I think they were originally going to just set up a Triple H one-on-one with Angle at Mania, because that would have been a good match. But now with Ronda coming in, and The Rock falling, I think because The Rock fell out of the picture.
Right. But it makes sense, because I was wondering, okay, where the fuck are they going to go with, Kurt Angle and Triple H? Because Kurt Angle really isn't the type of person to just roll over and be like, oh, I got pedigreed and, it cost me getting eliminated from the match. Whatever.
Exactly.
Like, he's not going to do that.
No, he's not.
So, good for him being the business professional guy, up until now. And I think what's going to happen is there's going to be a good storyline between this. There really is. So, I'm happy that Ronda Rousey's in WWE. I think it's a good business move for her. I think she's going to do pretty good.
Yeah. And it kind of shows you that maybe her in-ring skills aren't quite there because they're going to put her somewhere against Stephanie, so it kind of elevates her a little bit.
I just don't think that they don't have the confidence in her.
Yeah.
Is what I think.
They got she'll get there. She's very talented. She's
a quick learner.
Yeah.
So she'll get there. But the thing is, like, she's always trained to go full on with the punches, like not pull punches or anything like that, or kicks or anything. So she's got to relearn everything. So, but slams and everything, she could easily do. Yeah. She's got a huge repertoire of moves that she can use for judo stuff.
She's got to learn that it's kind of a dance. You gotta take care of the person you're throwing. Because when you're in a fight, if you hip toss them, you don't care how they land because you're in a fight. But in this, you gotta take care of the person.
She's also got to learn how to sell.
Yep.
So that's where I think her hiccup will be. Yeah. Is that she won't sell it well.
Did you watch? They had like a little package of Ronda right before she came out to do her signing. Did you see that? She was training in the ring and all that.
Yeah.
You seen that? Did you see Brian Kidrick in there training with her?
Yeah,
like I said last episode.
Pretty cool.
So,
yeah, and you were dead on with that. You did your research.
Yeah, I read a lot. I get bored, so I read a lot on stuff.
I read a little, no big deal. All right, so what do we got next?
Next up, I think we're going to go over the Hall of Fame a little bit.
Hell yeah, let's do it.
Yep.
So Hall of Fame, let's talk about the person that's the forefront of it. The focus is Goldberg.
Goldberg, yep.
So what do you think about that?
Yeah, I kind of wonder if they're going to mix him into Mania a little bit, do a match or something. But yeah, long time coming. He changed. He pretty much saved WCW. Like he was their homegrown star that put him on the map. Besides NWO,
right?
He came at the right time. So, and then he came. He didn't really have too much.
He didn't have a long run in WWE. I think it was a year contract.
Yeah,
because it lasted from Backlash 2003, which was right after WrestleMania 19, up till 20.
20, yeah.
Yeah.
Because he only had one WrestleMania match.
But it was a great year that he had.
Yeah. He got the title once.
Yeah. No, he got the title twice.
Twice? Yeah.
Because he. No, was it once?
I think it was just once.
It was just once. That's right.
Because he lost at Elimination Chamber.
He lost in the Elimination Chamber at SummerSlam.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't get it.
He didn't get it.
It was a one-on-one match.
He got it at Survivor Series.
Yeah, that's right.
Then no, he got it at Unforgiven. Retained it at Survivor Series. Lost it at Armageddon, and then that's when the feud with Lesnar started.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, regardless, his run in WWE was pretty good. He had a feud with Chris Jericho for a while. He dominated Mark Henry. He dominated everybody else that he
feuded first with The Rock.
Yeah,
so
it was great. The spear that he delivered to Christian was the best fucking spear I've ever seen him give somebody, bar none. Did you see that thing?
Yeah.
Like, Christian goes for the chair, turns around, blow! Just absolutely leveled. I was like, damn.
I'd say Goldberg and Rhino have some of the best spears I've ever seen. So
yeah. Rhino is definitely up there. His gore is awesome.
When he gored Matt Hardy through that table at WrestleMania 17, that was badass.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah. His stuff, his gores are amazing. So, who do we got next on, or going back to Goldberg, I think, I think it's suitable because they had him come back for one more Mania, have a match, leave a legacy.
Kind of not have that last WrestleMania 20, get it off, that stank off of him a little bit.
They let him have an actual match. Yeah. But I say let him, like they let him redeem himself.
Yeah.
Because Lesnar...
He didn't go out on that note. He went out on a higher note. Now he's going to
I feel like he was more matured, and he was like, all right, let's do this right. So who do we got next?
Dudley Boys.
Ooh, yeah. They were the first ones announced, weren't they? Or was it Goldberg?
Goldberg was first, and then Dudley Boys, I believe.
Yeah. I think it's a good way to go.
Yeah. Where's Christian? Why isn't Christian in the Hall of Fame yet?
That's what I was thinking, too.
Where is he?
He'll get there. Yeah. He'll get there. I think he's still too young.
Yeah.
You know, Dudley Boys, they got some years on them.
But the Dudley Boys are a pretty decorated tag team, not even just outside of WWE. They got a Hall of Fame career on their own.
Yeah.
Because they were ECW tag champs, TNA tag champs, WCW, WWE, New Japan.
Yep.
IWGP.
Yeah, they were everywhere. And I honestly, in my
have
opinion,
they ever got the Ring of Honor tag titles?
I don't think they did.
Yeah,
they may have.
Maybe that's one they need to go after, just to kind of be like, hey, we've had them all.
That's true.
So.
Yeah. They're still working out in the gym. You know. Which, by the way, pause real quick. I saw Devon Dudley on Sheamus's YouTube channel. It's Celtic Warrior Workouts. Shout out to Celtic Warrior Workouts. That thing, if you've never seen the YouTube channel, it's awesome. He goes out, Sheamus goes out with all these different wrestlers and does their workouts. And
really?
It's not just males. It's females. Like he did a Sasha Banks workout, and he said that was the hardest workout.
I think I've seen that before. I think he did one with Becky Lynch, didn't he?
Yeah.
I think I've seen that.
It's actually a really good channel, and I'm like, okay, I get a lot of good workout ideas, and probably the best workout that I've had was when he did one with Elias, and Elias did like this. What was it, like 5 reps by 5 sets, right? Where it's so you do what was it, deadlifts 5 times, right, with like 135. And then you do bent over rows 5 times. And then you do push press 5 times. Or no, it was cleans 5 times. Then push press 5 times, and then squats 5 times. That's a set.
Oof.
Yeah, and I was killing, like I was feeling it after that. Sorry to get off track, but definitely, if you haven't seen that channel, definitely go and check it out. It's awesome if you need workout ideas. Great cardio, great muscle building. He teaches you about diet planning and everything. Sheamus is a man.
Yep. I'm kind of surprised they did get back on track, though.
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised they did do the Dudley Boys this year, because I think, doesn't Bubba Ray kind of contracted in Ring of Honor right now?
He still does some stuff in Ring of Honor.
Yeah, and Devon's doing like producer stuff with WWE, like backstage stuff.
Which could lead to them getting Ring of Honor tag team titles.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, it's one they haven't got under the belt. So, but yeah, I in my opinion, from growing up with them,
straight deserve it. One of the.
So what?
I said they straight deserve it just because.
Oh yeah. Sorry, yeah.
Classic matches. I didn't mean to get you off track.
No, it's okay. I was like
TLC. They were first ever TLCs. All that.
Yeah. No, I they definitely deserve it. In my opinion, they're one of my favorite tag teams.
They are.
I think they have the best tag team finisher. They have the best gimmick. I honestly think they were the best tag team ever.
I think the only thing that really knocks them, which they've always just been a team, but they've never really had singles. Well, they didn't TNA, but other than that, like WWE, they didn't really have.
No,
I don't think they had anything else but tag titles. And did any of them get the hardcore title? No.
Nope. They did split at the brand split in 2002 for a little bit, but then they got back together.
They like Bubba
Survivor Series 2002.
Yeah, Bubba Ray had a little stint with Triple H, and then they kind of threw. Remember, he had a little feud with Triple H, a small one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then they just kind of threw Spike with him.
Yeah,
and then they were like, "This ain't working. Let's bring Devon back." And
yeah,
Reverend Devon, remember that?
Yeah, with Deacon Batista.
Yeah. And then they were like, "That's not working."
Yeah,
so
we gotta. This isn't good. So we gotta
get them back together.
Yeah. But thank God they did. They definitely deserve it. Congratulations to the Dudley Boys. Yeah. So who do we got next?
Double J.
Ooh, this one I did not see coming.
No, I didn't.
I was shocked because I texted you after I heard the news. I was like, "What the fuck?"
Because it's one of those, like, I don't know how true this story is, but did you hear the story of, like, he was the Intercontinental Champion? Jeff Jarrett was the Intercontinental Champion right before he went to WCW.
Yeah.
But his contract expired, but he's still a champ, so he had to get through that pay-per-view to drop it. So basically, he held up Vince McMahon for a shit ton of money. He's like, if you want me that one night, you got to pay me this money. which I've heard of it. I don't know if that's one of those I've never actually fully know if it was confirmed or not that he actually
didn't do the research, like the full amount of research on it. Yeah.
But I've heard that. I heard that multiple times though, so I don't really know.
Yeah. So that's one that caught me off guard though, because I thought that Jeff Jarrett hated Vince.
Yeah.
And I thought it was vice versa too. Like it was same feelings, but here he is being inducted into the Hall of Fame. Do you think he deserves it though?
Other than if you take away The Miz and Chris Jericho, he's had one of the better Intercontinental runs as a singles guy.
Yeah,
one of the better ones. If you take them two away, he's probably one of the better ones. And just as a promoter, even if you take don't even think of WWE, think of what he's done outside, even in WCW.
Yeah,
he really made a name for himself in WCW, champion. True. And then it's funny because when I first watched TNA, I didn't know that he owned the company, ran it.
Yeah, neither did I.
There's like a few years into it until I figured that out. And then I was sitting there like, why is this guy always the fucking champion? Yeah. Like, he's always the champ. It's like he gives it to somebody else, and a few months later, he's always the champ again.
Yep.
And then it's just like, once I found that out.
Connected the dots.
That once I found out he owned it and ran it, I was like, oh, that's why.
That's why. But I thought that when he owned TNA and
he actually made it a competition.
He made it great.
Because he brought the X Division in, and then when, I think it just, financial reasons he had to sell it. I don't know why Dixie Carter ever took it over or what. I don't know,
but she killed it.
She did. It killed it.
And now it's it's already crashed and burned, right? But it's like slowly grinding on the runway.
Yeah, like it's like how much longer do they actually have?
Right.
Because they're teaming up. What are they teaming up? Lucha Underground. They're kind of teaming up with Lucha Underground, kind of like Ring of Honor and New Japan are doing.
Johnny Mundo now. Johnny Impact.
Johnny Impact. Yeah, which he needs to come back to WWE.
Oh God, they did him dirty in WWE though. Vince thought that he was a pussy because of the interaction between his girl Melina and Batista, and he didn't stand up for himself. And I'm like, I mean, if you look at it, Melina and Nitro, they had like an open relationship or whatever. So he was like, it doesn't really bother me. Anyways, here nor there. Jeff Jarrett into the Hall of Fame. Do I think he deserves it? If we're not looking at WWE, yes. No. If we're looking at WWE and how he did Vince dirty, no.
But you can say that with Goldberg.
True. Yeah, that's a good
really
point.
He doesn't have that like maybe a year and a half run total in WWE.
Yeah.
And they're really just because they own WCW, they go off of what they've done at WCW too.
That's a good point. Okay, so if we're factoring in WCW, then yes,
you gotta and then you got to factor in what do they bring to, because Jeff Jarrett's dad was a promoter too,
right? And what does his lineage bring? Yeah.
So
okay, yeah, I can see that. So who do we got next?
Ivory.
Ooh,
Ivory. Yeah. She deserves it. Been there. She was there for a while. Just that good, stable heel.
Sure.
Female.
Sure. The only annoying thing about her was her stuff with Right to Censor. Which Grammy Award for worst fucking entrance music ever.
To make people want to go, this is the time I'm going to go get a beer.
Yeah.
At this moment.
Popcorn break right here.
It's popcorn break.
Yeah. So definitely.
Especially at Mania 17. Coming down that long ramp. Just.
Yeah, it was fucking terrible. But
Steven Richards.
yeah, his big what was it? His pants tucked into his white socks and shit. Yeah.
And then what Ivory did, she did jump over to the Alliance during the Invasion.
Yes, she did.
Because the Invasion, the Alliance basically had no females.
Wasn't she ECW before? Or?
I think she was from WWE, just homegrown. I think they just needed a bad guy.
They needed a defector.
Because they had Lita and Trish on our side, and they needed somebody over there to be...
And Tori Wilson and Stacey Keibler just weren't doing it.
Couldn't wrestle at the time, so... Yeah,
so they needed somebody over there. Which she has good in-ring skills, so I could say.
And which I liked the old bra and panties match from Invasion.
Yeah,
Trish and Lita teaming up against Tori and Stacey. That was pretty good.
Loves that one. But yeah, she definitely deserves it. I think so. Everybody
good
that's
attitude heel. She had the title twice?
I thought it was 3 times.
3.
Yeah,
I have to look it
may have been twice, but I know that she lost it to China.
Yeah, I know.
17.
Yeah, and I know she got it off Lita when she was with Right to Censor. She beat Lita.
Yeah. So who do we got next?
That's another reason why I hated Right to Censor, because they took the Hardy Boys titles and Lita's title. I'm like, these
Fuck
motherfuckers.
them.
Fuck these
them.
guys. And then you had Steven Richards being a little douchebag over there.
His little
and he took away
shit.
Val Venus and
Godfather.
took away their gimmicks, and we're like, what? I want to see some hoes. I want to see Val Venus.
Hello, ladies.
Yeah.
Who do we got next?
The Warrior Award, Jarius J.J. Robertson.
Yeah, the little kid, the little black kid that
does the interviews people backstage.
Yeah.
I think he just needed, what was he, a liver transplant? Didn't he have like a liver disease, like a rare one? I'm not too sure what's going on, but
yeah, I'm not.
I'm kind of curious because he's kind of a little funny kid. I'm kind of curious on his little speech he's going to give.
Yeah,
so it might be a little comical. It might be.
He's pretty funny.
He might bring us a little joy to the night, which
definitely.
the whole night's a celebration, anyways. But
I actually watched the video where he did like his backstage interviews and everything. Yeah. Honestly, and this is not just me saying like, oh, WWE throw every Warrior Award participant a bone or anything.
Yeah.
If he makes it to the age where he can be employed, I think they need to employ him as like an interviewer.
Yeah.
Like however long it is, let the kid's dream come true and let him do it because he's good at it.
Yeah.
He's
funny. He brings a comedic to it.
Yeah.
And his interaction with Triple H in that video, did you see that one? That was great.
And
awesome.
he's like, well, we need to talk to you about your contract. He's like, that's what I've been wanting to talk to you about. I think you should let me be in WWE and wrestle for the Cruiserweight title. And I was like, there you go. Okay, yeah.
Next
he's small enough.
Next Hornswoggle.
Yeah, they had Hornswoggle do it. Why not with him? But the kid's funny. There's always a recipient for the Warrior Award, and hey, he's who better?
Yeah.
He actually contributes something to WWE too. So, not saying that the other people don't, but I think he's a funny kid. Didn't you say he's like 15 or something?
Yeah, I think he's like 15.
And he's just that small.
He's like the size of like a 7-8-year-old, I believe.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to do a little bit more research on this kid.
Definitely, yeah. Before we go spouting off stuff.
He's kind of like the Connor.
Yeah,
Connor
McCallum.
yeah.
So then there was also breaking news today. Hillbilly Jim is going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame too.
Good classic wrestler.
Yeah.
Took him a little too long to get him in there.
Actually, I didn't watch too much of his stuff. I knew that he was in like all the Royal Rumbles back in the day. Yeah, and I knew that. No, he wasn't. He wasn't Shockmaster. That was Tugboat, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Tugboat.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. But Hillbilly Jim, yeah, I mean, he's
good,
a solid
classic,
wrestler.
Back in the day wrestler to be in there because seems like he had a lot of Attitude Era guys in here this one around. So it's good, classic old '80s wrestler. And
when you're looking at this card of people who are going to be in the Hall of Fame, think about the speeches they're going to make.
Yeah,
like this is going to be some entertaining stuff. I thought that Stone Cold being on the one, what was it, WrestleMania 30?
Yep.
His speech was pretty good, but these guys, they're gonna be pretty good too.
Yeah. Let's go back to Jeff Jarrett real quick.
Yeah.
Could you possibly because of his promotion skills, could this be like a partnership? Like maybe they're bringing him back in to be a behind the scenes guy, maybe help him out down in NXT, maybe.
Oh, that's a good question. That could be. Yeah. I could see that. I could see them doing that. Maybe I don't think that they'll do anything for like general managers. Oh, wait a second.
Maybe NXT general manager?
No. They got William Regal doing that. I think Daniel Bryan's contract is coming up after WrestleMania 34.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. They could do. I don't know how good Angle and Jarrett's relationship is, but
I don't know about that either.
Jeff Jarrett's married to his ex-wife, so
Karen.
maybe they could throw a storyline there.
Apparently, they're cool with each other.
Yeah, because Jarrett, he's still in decent shape. He could probably put on a match still.
Yeah.
So,
who knows? I think he's a good wrestler. Yeah. Honestly, if they brought him in as general manager, I wouldn't be upset.
No,
I'd be like, that makes sense.
Pretty sense. And then it would kind of give him a reason. Then they could do a storyline with him and Angle kind of going at each other.
And
they can actually wrestle each other.
Branch that at Survivor Series or something.
Because they're never going to let. It seems like they're not going to let Daniel Bryan wrestle again.
Never. Yeah. No. Daniel Bryan's going to go back to the indie leagues.
He's going to go back to Ring of Honor.
For sure. Yeah. Okay. So what do we got next that we want to talk about?
Well, just a couple more things on the Hall of Fame first.
Yeah.
Before we move on, I've read this that maybe Kid Rock's going to be in their little.
Oh yeah. You're telling me about that.
Their celebrity wing, and then I do want to say something with Triple H. Seems like when he started getting a little bit more power, the Hall of Fame kind of went up a notch. Like he's like really burning bridges, like not burning bridges, but like burying
hatchets.
Burying hatchets because he got was it Ultimate Warrior to come back?
Yeah.
Let's see who else to come back. Bruno Sammartino.
Yep.
Like he's getting some guys you didn't think would accept it coming back. So
right.
I think that's a lot of.
And now Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah, Jeff Jarrett. So
yeah.
I think it's a lot.
Scott Hall too.
Scott Hall
wasn't really in good standing with WWE for a while, or X-Pac.
No.
But is it X-Pac? He's not in the Hall of Fame.
No.
Not yet.
But I think with X-Pac I don't think X-Pac would even be around if it wasn't for Triple H though. I think Triple H is kind of being like, he's my buddy, let me bring him,
Yeah.
I don't think he would. He has a bad past.
Speaking of X-Pac.
Yeah.
What do you think is, because she's connected with X-Pac and Triple H, do you ever see Chyna making it into the WWE anytime soon?
Let me say this. It's not because I don't like X-Pac. I don't even know. He might be. I think he's actually in good standings now. I think if Triple H wasn't there, I don't think they would have built that bridge to come back.
Right.
But, that's another good thing with Triple H is he's got Scott Hall, X-Pac back in good health, good standings, back in the WWE. But getting to with Triple H, Chyna, I do think, now that she's passed, I think there will be a time. There'll be a time.
Yeah.
I think they might give it a little bit.
Right.
I think they might just do a whole
but Triple
DX,
H was, that's
DX
true.
thing.
But Triple H was saying on like an interview, he's like, I don't want somebody like my daughter of when they see at the Hall of Fame ceremony, oh, this lady named Chyna is
who is this?
Yeah, who is this? And then they go and look her up on Google, and of course, if you guys don't know, she has done porn before, like hardcore porn.
Like what, Vivid for Vivid Entertainment?
Yeah, something like that.
Well, X-Pac.
He did the same thing. Yeah, they had a sex tape.
They had a sex tape out, but X-Pac's around.
True. It's not like she's not mentioned anymore. It's just that there's like that awkward tension between Triple H and Chyna. But anyways, I don't know, man. It's I
think she will eventually.
Yeah,
it's one of those things. I see it.
Honestly, I'm gonna disagree with you though. I think I first started thinking about that, but now thinking that it's like family value sort of thing. I don't think that she's gonna be able to.
I think eventually she will. I think they will.
We'll see.
Never say never with that.
That's true.
A lot of people. Mickey James.
Oh yeah.
Used to do porn. She's kind of around.
Did she do porn?
Yeah, she did.
Was it softcore?
Yeah, I think it was. And then Candice Michelle.
I might have to do my research on it. And
Candice Michelle did softcore.
Look at that kind of stuff.
I believe.
Because I'm a journalist.
I believe Mickey James. I'm not. Don't quote me on that. I think I've read that. I don't know. I didn't go. I haven't found it. But I know for a fact Candice Michelle has done.
Yeah.
Softcore, but not from. No. But anyways,
have you done your research, John? Have you done some thorough research?
I'll tell you how I found out. I was 17 or whatever, how old I was. I was watching one of those late night HBO ones, at home, and I was like, "That's fucking Candice Michelle." I was like, "What the fuck?"
You're like, "Wait a second." All right. So we talked about WWE, right? Let's move on to New Japan. All right. So we got some New Japan news. Kota Ibushi and Kenny Omega teaming up, the Golden Lovers, against Cody Rhodes and the unwanted assistance from... Well, I mean, it was wanted by Cody, but not by him, from Marty Scurll.
Marty Scurll, yep.
So they face each other, which, by the way, it was a great match. But I think the ending didn't go the way that it should have with Scurll and... It first started as a triple threat match with Kenny Omega, Kota Ibushi, and then another member of Bullet Club. I can't remember who that person's name was. And they were facing Hangman Page, Cody, and Marty Scurll. And Hangman Page pinned the dude's name. I can't think of him right now.
Yeah.
Pinned the other.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I didn't get to see it, so I'm gonna kind of let you take and talk about
it. So that happened. And then they had a follow-up match the following night between Cody and Marty Scurll versus Kota and Kenny. Did they win that? Correct me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong on this. I think Kenny and Kota did actually pull out the win on that night. But it kind of leads into this thing where Kenny and Cody are kind of battling for Bullet Club supremacy. You know, like they're trying to battle for who's the leader.
Yeah, and I think they're going to be doing that into the Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
Was it Supercard 12?
Yeah, Supercard of
Honor 12.
Yeah. But I think that Cody should take the win.
Yeah.
Because, like, storyline wise, talent wise, it should be Kenny. But storyline wise, I think that Cody should take it because Kenny has done everything that he needs to do with New Japan.
Yeah.
He brought New Japan to the forefront of professional wrestling, put New Japan on the map for the West, which is America, US, Canada, and even England and everything. So he did what he was supposed to do, and now it's time for him to go on and do bigger things, i.e. WWE.
WWE, or maybe have a small stint with Ring of Honor.
Right.
Which I think he's allowed to wrestle there anyways,
right.
because of their
because they
partnership.
share the contract. And it still leaves them open for going back to New Japan.
Yeah.
So let's talk about a Supercard of Honor 2018.
Yeah, there's not too much. They haven't really announced too many matches. I think there is a Cody versus Omega is the big storyline of who gets to control a Bullet Club. And then you got the Young Bucks. Was it Dalton Castle?
Yeah, Dalton Castle, Ring of Honor champion.
Yeah. And that's all that's all they're really saying who's going to be there right now. They haven't really put too many matches out there.
He faced Beretta at Honor Rising Night 2. Yeah. I know that. And he retained. So
and then Kota and what's his Hiroshi are going to be there.
Tanahashi. Yeah. Or is it Takahashi?
I think it's Tanahashi.
Hiroshi Tanahashi. Yeah. Which fantastic wrestler.
Which this is coming down. We'll talk more about this later on in other episodes, just because
there's not much
announced for because it's still a little bit away. It's the weekend. Right. It's the same weekend as WrestleMania. It's like the Saturday.
Which is the same night
as NXT Takeover.
NXT Takeover New Orleans in the same city.
Yeah.
Which I was just talking with you. That's competition.
That is competition, but it's smart move by Ring of Honor because it brings in because all of them wrestling fans are in town that weekend. Mm-hmm. They did that last year.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they did it last year. The Hardy Boys, remember?
Oh yeah.
They had the ladder match, and they were in town.
But that was the night before.
Yeah.
No.
That was the night before.
It was Saturday.
Saturday.
That's crazy.
And then the next night they had a ladder match. They were already in New Orleans.
Yeah. That makes sense.
I'm excited because I'm excited with Ring of Honor right now because I don't know how much you like them, but the Motor City Machine Guns are back together.
Motor City Machine
they're back together. They're actually the tag champs in Ring of Honor now.
Really?
Yeah. They took them off the Young Bucks not too long ago, a few months ago, and that's one of the reasons I watched TNA back because I like Machine Guns back in TNA, and Styles was there, and Sting was coming up. That's what really caught me there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and then the Young Bucks had their thing in TNA as well.
Yeah,
Generation Me.
Generation Me, yeah.
Which they do not like to talk about.
They don't. Oh.
But the thing is,
they had good matches. But
I
remember they had really good matches with Machine Guns.
And the thing is that they got to look at it. It's part of their history. Yeah. You know, sure, it wasn't a great part, but it's kind of what it turned a little bit of attention towards them.
Yeah.
So.
And I always thought Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley were really good talents. Yeah. And they together they're much more. Chris Sabin can really do stuff on his own. Alex Shelley kind of.
Yeah, he relies on that tag team.
Yeah, he relies on the tag team, which I actually think.
But that's where he thrives.
I really would like to see them bring that to WWE, maybe even NXT, maybe even start in NXT. Because I know they're on the older side.
That is Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley coming in.
Yeah,
because there was a time where the WWE tag division was on fire, like a year or two ago, and now it's just kind of like who do they have?
They did a brand split.
Yeah,
everyone's getting fallen. They don't have as many tag teams.
Right.
They have enough tag teams for one title, but 2 titles now.
Yeah,
they're gonna have to beef it up.
Right.
Which, and speaking of tag titles, they need to bring a women's tag title in. Because there's so many. They have so many women in right now.
A cruiserweight tag team title.
Yeah.
Like to kind of give that show just something to fight for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think you don't want too many titles, but like women definitely. I'd go with women before I do cruiserweight.
True. Well, all right. I think that's all that we have for right now. That's all that we're going to talk about for right now. Is there anything else that you wanted to?
No. I think next time we'll do Fastlane results.
Yep.
And then
WrestleMania
do a lot
predictions.
of get really into the WrestleMania predictions, and then we'll get a little bit more on Supercard.
Yeah,
of honor,
because there will be more announced for that.
So.
But as for right now, that's it for today. This has been Beyond the Barricade. I'm Blake.
I'm John.
We'll see you next time.